Hey guys. As you might have known that I post release which videos, but I also like to read other novels like cultivation novels. Martial Peak, Immortal Journey to Immortality. Immortal Journey to Immortalism masterclass, In this strong one, it's absolute best. So after watching all this, you know, my interest on cultivation manhwa has been wished with speak, but I couldn't find, more interesting cultivation novels or manhwas. So I decided, how about I using this my knowledge of cultivation novels, manhwas, I write my own, the best one. Might try to best, or try to write my best. Yeah, while reading cultivation manhwa or novels, you might have also faced this challenge, the frustration that why isn't the main character doing or like fighting it out, or why is he being so dull? Well, so anyway, so we'll be writing against all those odds and in a way, in a genuine way. So for the backstory of the you know main character, so this is the first chapter which we'll be writing, the prologue. So let's begin. So how does the story start? The story starts in this, let's say 2026. In on the 2025 has ended, and on the first at 12 o'clock, uh, this happens. So for the background, let's say, um, what to do. Okay, let's go. It was 2026. It was to 2025 December 31st. Hmm. What should be the name of the protagonist? Mm, let's name him mm, Abe. Okay, or what? Uh, let's name him. Rename him. Shah. What Shah? Or she? Abe Shah. Okay. So okay, we are going with Abe Shah. Okay. Abe Abe Shah. A 22-year old boy. A 22-year-old boy was laying on his bed watching or reading uh, novels on his phone. Okay. So Abesha, a 22-year-old boy, was laying on his bed reading novels on his phone. This was his favorite pastime. Okay, just like us. So what more? As he was fully immersed in reading, uh, wait, wait, wait. Before it, uh, and for Abe Shah, for Abe is favorite genre of novels were cultivation, kingdom building, um, magic, and romance. Okay, and thus he had read over hundreds of such novels. Do we have a viewer? Well, we have viewers 35. Oh, that's huge. We didn't expect that. Well, okay, let's continue. And thus, he had read over hundreds of such novels. Hmm. So, and on the last day of the year two, he was gonna end it with a cultivation novel. Okay, next. As he was fully immersed in reading, the clock, uh, the clock, it had struck 12 o'clock, and he was fully immersed in reading, and when the clock striked uh, 12 o'clock midnight, he suddenly fell asleep. He suddenly fell asleep. Mm, he suddenly fell asleep. Okay. After a long sleep, when he woke up, he found himself he found himself in an unfamiliar surrounding. Okay, he found himself in unfamiliar surrounding. So what did he see? Well, of course, just like other novels. You know, should I transmigrate him as a baby or a 13 to 14-year-old kid? I'm Does anyone have any suggestion? Uh, any suggestions? No. Well, okay. Mm, so, okay, let's keep him as a, you know, he's a 22-year-old boy, right? Okay. So he decrease his age. The best years for cultivation are, the young ages. So I was thinking, what should we do? Mm, uh, any suggestions? Nope. I guess I have to go with my own ideas. Okay, let's make him just a teenager, a 9-year-old boy. Nine, no, no, not 9. A 10-year-old boy. Okay, 10, Ben 10, type 10-year-old boy. in an unfamiliar surrounding. Okay, so after a long sleep, he woke up. He found himself in an unfamiliar surrounding. As he looked around, he saw that he was in uh, a shed type of house, which had places with holes that had been patched up, but still had holes. Okay, and the condition of the house was not good. Okay, so next, uh, Abe felt like he was dreaming, cause which sane person can wake up, sleep at home and wake up in a shed until and unless he was kidnapped or he was transmigrated. So Abe felt like he was dreaming, and as he tried to understand what was happening, he felt a striking pain in his head. Okay, and soon a few fragments of memories uh, made him writ, writing, that he couldn't bear the pain, and so he was rolling on the floor. Made him roll on the floor, on the floor with pain, eternal pain. Pain is eternal. Okay, so how many? We have zero viewers. Well, anyway, we are gonna continue. 30 minutes live, no viewers, no likes. Okay, it's okay. And soon a few fragments of memories made him roll on the floor. Huh? And soon a few fragments of memories. Sorry, I was thinking on my head and couldn't write all my ideas. Okay, so Abe felt like he was dreaming. As he tried to understand what was happening, he felt a striking pain in his head. And soon a few fragments of star memories made him. And soon a few fragments of memories made him. Uh, few fragments of memories came to him. Came to him, not right. Uh, and soon a few fragments of memories made him realize that he wasn't on Earth, or he was at least dreaming, and some memories of someone else were striking the pain made him roll on the floor. Okay. So what were the memories? Um, according according to the memories, according to the memories, this boy was a 10-year old kid whose parents have been killed recently. They used to live in a village. Hmm. Let's not, give him attachments because our protagonist is already a 22-year-old grown up. So, or should we give him? Huh? Cat? Uh, so they used to live in a village. They used to live in a village, but after his parents died while scavenging in the forest, this boy was left without much food or help. Okay. Uh, even though uh, few villagers sometimes gave him some food, since it was winter. Since it was winter, the food was scarce. C-R-C. Um, okay. Oh, one viewers. Um, so even though few villagers sometimes gave him some food, since it was winter, the food was scarce. Okay, some food since it was winter, the food was scarce. So after not eating food for 2 days, the boy's body got weak, and in the cold of winter, he passed away. Okay. Um. So and unexpectedly away found himself inside this boy's body. Hmm. Uh, so found himself inside the boy's body. Hmm. Okay. So what should Abe do now? An unexpected Abe found himself inside the boy's body. After sorting out the few memor- memory fragments that he could see, he tried to get up, still not believing he was really transmigrated. He still could not believe that he really transmigrated. So, mm, as he tried to get up, he felt weakness all over and soon fainted. Because he was weak. Okay. He had tried to get up, he felt weakness all over and soon fainted. So this was our protagonist as he transmigrated into the world. Soon in his dream, he saw the remaining memory fragments. The boy's name was E. Uh, what should I name the boy? Anyone watching? No one. I guess that's okay. We got one like. Thanks whoever liked this video. So uh, the boy's name was Shi Jing. Or Shi Yan. Yan. Okay. The boy's name was Shi Yan, and his parents were ordinary. So his parents were ordinary uh, farmers. They lived in a village called mm, they live in a village called uh, Kuri. Mm. They lived in a village called Kuri. Mm, it was a small village where almost all families were farmers, where all families were farmers. The village housed around 50 families. Families. And the Yans, um, the Yans family was one such ordinary farmer family. Um, okay, so mm, okay, so this is a background of our, you know, main character. Uh, the boy's name was Yan, and his parents were ordinary farmers. They lived in a village called Kuri. It was a small village where all the families were farmers. The village housed around 50 families, and Sian's family was such ordinary farmer family. Um, so that's kind of a prologue. Um, what should we do next? Mm, what should we do next? Should we end this chapter or should we continue? Um, okay, let's write a few more things because it's a prologue, just so what she let's write all the things that she knows about this world. Mm, being an ordinary villager, he young wasn't much aware about the world and had only few basic no, knowledge. Okay. So mm, one day had to pay yearly taxes to the king. This to the king. Uh, okay. Yearly tax we have to give to the king. Uh, the village had a village chief. That's I don't know why I'm writing this, but anyway. And he doesn't have knowledge about if this world is a cultivation world or not, or if there are martial artists or not, if this world is a magic world or not. Because our protagonist is a person from the modern world. He has knowledge that after transmigration there are often golden finger type. Either it is a magic world or a cultivation world, or he might bring industrial revolution. But before that, we have to know what kind of world that is, and our audience doesn't know. So what does it know? And we have zero viewers again. Sorry. Hmm. Uh, hmm. So, that was kind of the prologue. Next, what more should we write? So let's get a revision. It was 2025 December 31st. Abe Shah, a 22-year-old boy, was laying on his bed reading novels on his phone. This was his favorite pastime. For Abe, his favorite genre were novels. Uh, uh, his favorite genre of novels were cultivation, kingdom building, romance, magic, and thus he had read over hundreds of novels. And one such day, and on the last day of the year, he was gonna end it with a cultivation novel. And as he was immersed in reading, when the clock struck 12 o'clock at midnight, he suddenly fell asleep. After a long sleep, when he woke up, he found himself in an familiar surrounding. And as he looked around, he saw that he was in a shed type of house, which had places with holes and that had been patched up but still had holes. He felt that he was dreaming. He tried to understand what was happening. He felt a striking pain in his head, and soon fragments of memories that made him realize that he wasn't on Earth, or at least he was dreaming, and some memories of someone else were striking him. The pain made him roll on the floor. According to the memories, the boy was a 10-year-old kid whose parents had been recently killed. They used to live in a village, but after his parents died, while scavenging in the forest, the boy was left without much food or help. Even though few villagers sometimes gave him some food, since it was winter, the food was scarce. So, after not eating for 2 days, the boy's body got weak, and in the cold of the winter, he passed away. And unexpectedly, Avi found himself inside the boy's body. After sorting out the few memory fragments that he could see, he tried to get up, and still not believing that he had really transmigrated. He had really transmigrated. And as he tried to get up, he felt weakness all over and soon fainted. Soon in his dreams saw the remaining memory fragments. The boy's name was Shian, and his parents were ordinary farmers. They lived in a village called Kuri. It's a small village where almost all the families were farmers. The village housed around 50 families, and Shian's family was one such ordinary farmer family. Being an ordinary villager, Shian wasn't much aware about the world and only had few basic knowledge. Number one, they had to pay yearly taxes to the king. The village had a village chief, and everyone depended on farming. Everyone depended and did farming. Mm. As the memory memory fragments, as the memory fragments. Uh, oh, that was my friend. I asked him about so uh, how about I. Oh, sorry for the delay. I was texting up my friend. So, uh, as the memory fragments, mm, uh, finished merging, merging. It was already morning. It was already afternoon, and as the sunlight fell on his face. It was already evening, okay, because he got up as after transmigration in the morning. Then he had a pain, and he fell asleep. Uh, Evening passed, and at afternoon passed, and in the evening, when the sun was, made an angle so that the sunlight can fall on his body, so it should be evening. It's already evening, so it is evening. And as the sunlight fell on his face, mm, as the sunlight fell on his face, he yes, it was already, and as he finally woke up in. So it's kind of going down the hill. Uh, Down the hill, kind of like he is transmigrated, but still doesn't have much idea of this world. So let's see what he does, what his journey is. Uh, uh, Taking a few deep breaths, he tried to get up using pure willpower, you know, because he was feeling weak all over. Hmm. Hmm. He then went on to drink 2 cups of water and then washed washed his face. Okay. Then he looked around the house, and he then looked around the house and uh, trying to find something to eat, but couldn't find anything. Along with food, he also tried to find something valuable, but all in vain. Okay. So he found nothing at home. So what should he do? What should he do? Because if I had transmigrated in this as him, what I would do after finding nothing at home? Then he went out of his house and saw his surroundings. Because of winter, although it didn't snow, but the land was barren. Okay, and the mm, outside was any viewers? Nope. Someone liked it. I don't know who it was, but thank you. And zero viewers, it's okay. We're gonna continue writing because that's what we do, right? But the land was barren and outside was but the land was barren and the outside was um, you know and outside all the houses doors were tightly shut and no person could be seen. Most of the time, the cultivation journey starts where the protagonist is applying for a sect or waking up as a defeated protagonist or is a villain type. But we are starting a journey from village because one of the greatest cultivation novels which I have read, A Mortal Journey to Immortality, started his journey from his village only. So although he had parents and a sister, but I don't like the emotional drama which comes with the family. So I try to minimize it. So so this story, this prologue. So he's in the village where his both his parents died hunting, and now he is all hungry. With he has nothing, money, no valuables, just drank a little water, and he is now gonna go out to the forest to fill his stomach to get something to eat to get some energy. So then no person could be seen. He then walked towards the forest in search of getting something to eat, because without food he's gonna die anyway again once more. And if he dies, we don't know where he will transmigrate again. Anyway, so he then walked towards the forest and in search of getting something to eat, in search of getting sources to eat. As he entered the forest, you might ask how he knew where the forest was, because he had already merged with the memories. So as he entered the forest, he saw most of the trees were leafless. Leafless, leafless. So as he entered the forest, he saw most of the trees were leafless. Okay. Mm. So what should we eat? What should he eat? Um, he then decided that he then uh, took out his knife and uh, digged out the soft roots of trees and began to chew them and then ate it. Ah, so, cause that's what you are gonna do. Cause he knows that none of the villagers are that rich that they have spare food, and he's not gonna go to the village chief to ask for food. Why? There is a backstory. I guess we can write a backstory. After filling his hungry stomach to a certain degree, he returned home. As it was getting dark, After returning, he fell asleep again. So this was the first chapter. That's first chapter, like prologue of or the story of Abe. We are gonna name this story the story of Abe. So he's gonna uh, start his journey from the next chapter. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this, you know, writing novel with me, uh, you know, so please subscribe. That's might help me. So that's all from today from my side. See you in the next chapter, which I might stream in a few minutes or hours later. So that's all for today. Thanks and bye bye.